when I'm writing, and that's another lesson in teaching students when you're
Hmm.
working with the students in the classroom and encouraging them to listen and pay attention in their classes because you never know when you're going to go back and utilize some of those skills that you learned in school.
Hmm.
So it's good to do well in school.
Hello, I'm Derek Cash with the North Little Rock Public Library System and want to welcome you to Meet the Author. Joining us today is author and creator of C&V Four Seasons Publishing, Maria Hoskins, to discuss her book, It's My Birthday. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, and I want to give the audience just a little bit of a heads up. Normally, we only have one author, but we've had Maria before, and I was so enchanted by her. And so with this book, I found this book, and I'm so glad that you're on again, and I hope you enjoy it. Yes.
Absolutely. Always glad to spend time with my friends at the library.
Okay, all right. The first thing I've got to ask is the character of Archie, is he based on your husband? Because you dedicate the
Yes.
book, it is. Okay, I guessed correctly.
Yes. I had all those girls. I was like, we have to have a boy character at some point. So Archie volunteered. He said, I'll be your character. So I was like,
Okay, okay,
great.
okay, okay. So is that how you came up with the story, or is it just that I'm trying, I shouldn't fill in your blanks. You tell me.
So I wanted to write the story about it's my birthday.
Uh-huh.
Everybody has a birthday, and of course, I'm a holiday writer. So
Okay.
that was the holiday I wanted to write on. But it came to me, I don't want another girl main character. I need a young boy, a young fellow to be the main character. So I looked around and said, who could I write about? And I was like, Archie. I have a husband, Archie. I think that's a wonderful child's name for a boy. So
Hmm.
he agreed to allow me to use his name
Hmm.
in our beautiful, cute story of It's My Birthday.
Yeah, it is a cute story. I think the thing that caught me, it wasn't until I finished it when I realized the story is very simple. And I mean that as a compliment. They go to the zoo, they go on a merry-go-round, they hit a piñata. You have no electronics, no video games, nothing like it's just very simple. And I loved it because of that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You caught that. That was
Huh?
intentional.
Good. I mean,
Yeah.
because I have nothing we all use video. We're doing this right
Hmm.
now by video, electronics.
Right.
But it sort of saddens me when I see children playing all day long on cell phones. So when in the story, I
Mhm.
thought, you don't know what you're missing by going out and doing things, and you hit it
Yes.
head on in this story.
Thank you, thank you. It's a joy, and we do want our children to go outside more, don't we? And
Yes.
to do those fun activities and let them have fun outside and exploring. So I thought what a wonderful thing for Archie
Hmm.
to come up with is his day out with his friends, and there are some other hidden messages in the story.
Okay. I may not have caught them, and maybe because they are
Yes.
hidden, I won't ask you because unless you feel later on you want to bring them up, because I
Oh
don't want to.
no, it's the good. It's the point of the story.
Uh-huh.
So did you catch in the story that there was a method of giving all through the story?
I notice it at the end when he gives presents to the people who come to the birthday party, because that was something I was going to ask you. I've never seen that before. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's given from the time he wakes up that morning. And he wakes up and he gets ready. And what is the first thing he does? He helps his mom make the breakfast.
Ah.
Then he invites his friends and they make the invitations together.
Mhm.
And it goes on and on. Every step of the way to this day, he's sharing
Mhm.
and he's giving back
Uh-huh.
all day. So
Yeah.
it's a message to the children um, about, and that's what we talk about when I go to schools and gives
Mhm.
presentations on this book. Is it's nice to get presents, but how nice is it, and how wonderful does it feel to share and give back?
Yes, yes. It's sort of like that biblical verse, it's better to give than to receive. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes,
I'm so glad as you know, I read the story, but I'm so glad you explained. I would have to, we didn't catch all of it, but I did catch the end. So thank you for
yes.
sharing that. Yes, but you are right. It's a happy story.
Hmm.
Um, it's, I realize sometimes authors will write about things that are for children that are a little bit more serious, but I'm glad
Hmm.
it's a happy story. That's what
Yes.
enchanted me about it. Yes.
Yes, thank you. I'm
Hmm.
glad you see that. And
Hmm.
the kids like it too, and I'm glad that they enjoy the story
Hmm.
when we have a chance to read it to
Hmm.
them.
Something I think everyone would notice is this story rhymes. And I was just curious, how difficult is that to write a story to make it rhyme, but to make it rhyme so it doesn't sound stupid? You know what I mean? Like you make it rhyme for rhyming's sake. You made it rhyme and it makes sense and it's valid.
Yeah, when I'm writing, and that's another lesson in teaching students when you're
Hmm.
working with the students in the classroom and encouraging them to listen and pay attention in their classes because you never know when you're going to go back and utilize some of those skills that you learned in school.
Hmm.
So it's good to do well in school. And in the process of writing my books, I used to love poetry in school. And I participated on the debate team and in the poetry competitions at school. And so when I'm writing, actually, it's almost automatically coming in because I'm thinking about, oh, how do I connect these sentences together and make it make sense, but make it fun to read in the
Hmm.
process as a child would like to read. And of course, our children like rhythm. And so I'm just trying to bring some rhythm to the story to
Hmm.
keep it flowing and keep it going. So
Hmm.
it's not very hard, but I'm pulling back on those days of reading poetry and enjoying poetry, and the rhythm just kind of flows on
Hmm.
out.
I'm glad to hear that. If only because you've got a talent and you were able to use it in your work. Some people are very talented, but they've got no outlet for it. And so I'm so glad to
Mhm.
hear that you liked poetry and you're able to use it in the literature. I hope that you're able to
Yeah.
do it again and again because you did a brilliant job and I enjoyed reading it. Yes.
And I like, and a matter of fact, it was kind of funny when I sent it over to one of my library friends. She's like, super, super duper. It was a couple of, I have to go back and find that page,
Go
but
ahead.
she thought when you use the word super duper, she said, had to love the book because those are some of those old sayings that we would say as young folks. And I almost tend to almost making up words, but words that we've heard and used before,
Hmm.
like whoop, swoop, slam, bam.
Yes.
Nobody really says that anymore,
Hmm.
but the kids think it's funny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I am curious. One thing about this book that caught my eye also is that it's a fill in the blank and it's a coloring book, which makes it even if you get a copy as a child, it's your book because I can write it in and color it and just what gave you that idea or why
I
did you
try
think
to
of it?
do that.
Hmm.
Try to do that in all my books at the end of each book. And in
Okay.
some cases, there's some like the Easter story in the beginning
Hmm.
is to have the children make the story. So I'm writing the book, but I want them to make the book their own personal book.
Hmm.
And how can they make it their own book where they want to go back to it again? Is when they can include some of their own stories in the book. So at the back of each book, as on this one, I don't know if you can see that, but we had a
Uh-huh.
coloring
Yes.
page,
Hmm.
you know, and then they get the opportunity to write about their birthday. So, which is really good. My birthday is, and for my birthday, I would like to draw pictures, draw illustrations. So now the child is more vested into the story because it's not just the story that I wrote that they read. Now they have their own story in the back.
Hmm.
So they
Hmm.
can go back to the book as often as they like and keep writing and keep encouraging them to tell their own stories.
Uh-huh. Having said that, as much as I look at it from a librarian standpoint, the book that I'm holding right now belongs to the library. No one's
Oh, they
colored
can't
it.
write.
And I'm just hoping, please don't take it home and then start coloring it.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
no. But I give all permission
Yeah.
when the library, if students said, "Can I have a copy of that page?" or if the parents check it out, they can make a copy of it when they check it out
Hmm.
and let their children have the
Yeah.
activity pages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I give
Yeah.
all release all those rights to any
Okay.
parent that wants to make a copy of out
Oh,
of these
okay, good,
books.
because
Yeah.
copyright is important. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
so they have I give all rights. They can make copies for their
Okay.
children so they will not mess up the library copy of the book.
Yeah.
That is a no-no.
Oh, yeah. Maria, as a writer, could you describe how your writing process has developed or changed, or maybe where you would like to go in the future?
I think so. I released the first book, Christmas Night on the Farm, in 2014, and now it is 2025, and I'm seven books published.
Hmm.
I have an eighth book. I'm waiting to find that right illustrator that can really do wonderful portrait work for the next book. But as far as my process gone, I think every time you learn something,
Hmm.
you know, every book you learn something new, and I would think the skills keep sharpening a little
Uh-huh.
bit each book away. So I definitely say I'm always learning something more, um, more than just learning about the publishing process. I try to stay in tune. I love speaking with the kids at school because I love to hear their feedback and see their reaction when I'm reading. That lets me know if I'm on track in my writing. When you see children enjoy the stories and you ask them, how do you like it? And they're like, man, then you know you're on track.
Mm,
When you read to a child and they really don't get much feedback or
mm,
much response, then something's not, you're not connecting.
hmm.
So I'm in all of my work, I hope to continue to connect to that young reader because at the end of the day, we want to encourage their reading and encourage them to write. And I think that's where I'm in. Where I'm going in the future in the books is still lots of holidays to write
Mm,
about.
hmm.
So I'm continuing to write about holidays. And my goal is still to, at some point, start publishing children's works, students that are writing wonderful, magnificent stories, and to publish them through my publishing company and just get them out, help them get their stories out.
That is a brilliant idea. Best wishes on that, because there are
Thank you.
many talented young people that, because the idea gets squashed because they can't get it published, they give up. So good for you.
Yes.
I'd love to hear from you a few years from now and maybe have you on the program and have you read, something from that kind
Yes.
of book. That would be brilliant for us as well. Yes.
I would love to do that. And we're kind of starting in that direction, encouraging students to write. Uh, on April the 12th, we're having our first Arkansas Authors Children's Book Festival.
Hmm.
And that's in partnership with the Youth Advocate and Resource Network, a nonprofit I volunteer with. And we're really excited about that because the whole purpose is to encourage students to read and to want to enjoy reading. Let's
Hmm.
make reading fun is our theme, and to write their own stories. So it's going to be interesting to see how many students actually come and participate in the writing portion and learning about illustrations
Hmm.
on that day.
Okay. Well, success breeds success. So this first time, I don't know how big the number will be, but as children, young people hear about it, oh, I want to get involved in that, and then it will exponentially grow. So
Yes,
best wishes. I'm really excited
thank you.
for you for that. What a
Thank you.
brilliant idea. Yes.
Thank you.
Something I also, you cannot talk about this book without talking about the illustrations. And it's
Yes.
Necla Vildirim Unal. I may not be
Well,
pronouncing.
you got it pretty close. Nejla and her last Unal. You were
Okay.
right.
How
She's
did
from Turkey.
how did the two of you meet, or how did you hook up?
I was actually at a Ramadan dinner uh,
Mm-hmm.
it used to be called the Turkish Raindrop House, but I think it's Interfaith House now. It's a different name, but I met some of her friends there, and she wasn't there, but her friends were there, and we were visiting, and they were looking at my books, and they were like, "Oh, we have a friend who is a wonderful artist. I think you'd like to meet her." And they showed me some of her work, and we connected, and I saw her work, and I was like, "Oh, this is exactly the
Mm-hmm.
type of character I want for It's My Birthday." And she sent me some sketches, and we went from there. But yes, it is fabulous. Let me see if I can move this over a little bit. I don't know if
Uh-huh.
you can see Archie there.
Mm-hmm.
That's her work, and she did a magnificent job.
Yes.
Uh, so we're very excited. It's just like immediately, and it's been that way for every one of my books so far that
Okay.
I've connected the right author, I mean, the right illustrator to be able to put my vision of my words on paper. And I'm very happy with the work.
Yeah. Well, the pastels are they're just appropriate for the story, and there's energy in them without, I'm just you like I said, you cannot notice the book without notice the illustrations, and you were very fortunate to get her. Yes. Okay.
Absolutely. And in
Yes.
the process of her work, her art, in the book, there is a page, and we're talking about, so I'll just talk about
Sure, go ahead.
the illustration. It's a birthday cake. And when I'm reading, and I always like to put the book over the overhead, right? So everyone can see it. So there is a page that has the birthday cake on it. And I asked the kids, let me see if I can come up with this birthday cake. When they look at the cake, what is it that is wrong with the cake? And they can't tell me right off, but they'll look and I'll read the page again. I was like, okay, look at the cake and try to tell me again what is wrong with the cake. And eventually they see it. It's hard to talk and look at the same time, but they recognize in the book that the cake says it's covered in white icing, but the cake is not in white icing. It has blue icing
Blue
on it.
eyes. Ah, yes. I
And
didn't even notice that. Ah.
the illustrator, she's like, "Oh no, I made a mistake. The word says white icing in the cake." I said, "We want to leave that. That is perfect because that gives me something to talk about when we're talking with the students and see how they're paying attention and comprehending the story." So after we ask them, eventually somebody will say, they'll find two or three things, but they will find that the icing on the cake is different than what the storyline says. So I love that. And that's a good way. I'll probably use that again in the future, is to have a little couple of tricky pages in there to stimulate the conversation and get the children to pay attention.
That's a brilliant idea. I'm not an educator, so I wouldn't have thought of something like that. But that's a pretty good idea. So good for you that you had a mistake and were able to get lemonade out of it. So good for
Yes,
you. Yes.
absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Um, Maria, we've covered a lot about the book. Is there anything that you would like to bring up that maybe I didn't think of asking you?
As far as the book is concerned, I just think it's a wonderful book. It comes in paperback and it comes in hardcover.
Hmm.
So they have both options. The paperback version seems to be a wonderful version when people are having birthday parties and
Hmm.
parents want to give all the children one. It's a less expensive
Ah.
one, and it kind of operates as a workbook where people can do the exercises in the back and do
Mhm.
the coloring in the back. So I hope parents will enjoy getting a copy for their children. because everybody has a birthday.
Yes,
And we
yes.
also hope that people will join us on April the 12th at the Arkansas Authors Children's Book Festival at the Wingate Center for Performing Arts at University of Central Arkansas, Conway, from 10 to 2. Lots of activities, art activities the children can take home. And then we have the educational sessions on writing and publishing and marketing. We even have a few entertainers coming out, magician and Big Papa Bubbles, Tommy Terrific, the musician. So we hope they come out, have a great time, wanting to improve and learn how to read better and learning to make reading fun.
Well, it sounds like a great event. So I hope the turnout is good for you as well as for
Thank you.
everybody else. Yes. Now, if people want to buy your book or if they need to contact you, how can they reach you via social media?
Sure. We have our website, www.seasons, the number two dream.com. We're updating some items in the website. So if they have a problem reaching us there right now, they can go to my social media page and just reach out to me, message me. My phone number is 501-336-4726. Or just give me a call.
Okay.
They're also, my books are located, of course, they're in a national distribution, so you can go to Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Pyramid Art Books and Custom Framing in North Little Rock. But of course, everyone can go to their favorite library and stop by the Layman Library and check out the book.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I think you're the first author that's ever given a plug for us, and that's such a delightful change. So thank you so much.
Thank
Okay.
you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay, this has been a wonderful event. I'm so glad that Maria has been on our program. And so I want to thank you for joining us today. If you're interested in reading It's My Birthday or other books written by Maria Hoskins, you can check them out from the library or purchase them wherever books are sold. Also, you can find more information at facebook.com/season2, and that's the number 2, dream, or at our website, nlrlibrary.org. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everyone.